I am writing this script while my first 3 videos haven't even been released yet, so God knows if you all even want to hear this. But if you are still procrastinating creating your own product or content, stop watching this. Like, seriously, get a grip. You don't need to be convinced to keep going. You are in need of a good playlist and some snacks, but that's about it. If you're still watching, I'm going to assume that you either think that you can't make something or lack the means/motivation to. And I know you've probably heard this before from other people that you need to stop scrolling mindlessly and consuming everything in your feed just to have you make something. But you need to spend a day, if not, then an hour, if not, then 10 minutes just making something. If making that something you want to make takes so much time, then make it take less time. If you can't figure out what to make, then figure out how to figure that out. If you can't find the motivation, then figure out what motivates you and figure out how to apply that to the something that you are trying to make. I don't want this video to be a whole motivational speech, but I really wanted to talk about this thing that has plagued me for years, preventing me from pursuing my dreams. Keep in mind that this advice comes from some dude with 20 subscribers, but 2 months ago when I started thinking about ways to make money that isn't trading my time for it, I came across thousands of channels all claiming to do this, and to do that in order to make $1,000 a day or 10K a month doing nothing, they would call it. It didn't take long for me to realize that most of this advice came from privileged positions. Not that there's anything wrong with that or taking advantage of that, but most people were not in those positions. Of course, it is achievable to make 1K a month in dividends from stocks if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the market. Of course, it is possible to get rich quick by selling courses if your channel already has 1 million subscribers. And of course, making a business that makes 100K a month is easier if you already have one that makes 20. I unfortunately also, I'm not in one of these positions. The only real leverage I had at the time was some minor education and experience with low to mid-wage jobs. So none of these strategies were really applicable to me. Of course, that's not to say that those videos are completely worthless. There is definitely a lot of information you can gather about how money works and how to view the world through a money-making lens. But I couldn't attempt those things, at least not as of yet. I had little money in the market, which allowed me to gain some experience over the years, but nothing big. I figured that if I could increase my income, that I could increase the amount of money in this market and apply those aforementioned strategies that I was talking about from those videos. This is what got me into an investment mentality to make money work for me. So then I needed to make money without spending more on gas, eating out because I'm working, or spending more money than I already do on caffeine. So an in-person job was sort of not an option for this. And because of that, I got to the work from home side of YouTube, where nothing of value was really found because I didn't have the degrees required to compete in those jobs that people were suggesting, nor the experience. And I didn't have the time nor the ability to risk wasting time on developing my brand or experience in order to then sell my services or spend money on certifications that might not even result in a job. This then led me to looking into the more gig work types of these videos, and some of them were honestly pretty good. I've even found a few that legitimately make money and pay you. And after signing up for a few of these, I started to search for some more income avenues. One of these being YouTube, but not in a how to make 3K a month on YouTube mentality, but how to make $5 a day mentality. I still have no idea what amount of views or subscribers that I need to do that, but $5 a day seemed a lot more plausible than 3K a month. But the best part really was that these $5 a day could amount to a lot when invested properly, which is kind of one of the lessons I've learned from those finance YouTubers. In fact, it is kind of like a whole challenge, the invest $5 a day challenge, which could amount to 2K a year if invested properly. And for some people, that's life-saving money and could really make a difference. And for others, it's a nice chunk to start investing with. So if YouTube can make me $5 a day I wouldn't have otherwise made, then I could use that money to invest without having to change or affect anything in my life really besides just making that video. YouTube became a money-making possibility with this logic. I started viewing these videos less like YouTube videos and more like stocks, where the video rises in value over time like a stock and has a market cap determined by its niche. So then the question became, how long do I have to work on a video to make $5 a day relatively passively? Because anyone that tells you income can be entirely passive is full of shit, because every method of doing so requires months, if not years of work. But I decided on 1 hour spent each day. That was my privilege that I could take advantage of. I had 1 hour each day to make a video, so I'm going to do that. From my previous experiences on YouTube, when I was like 16, I remembered that an hour to make a video results in pretty terrible videos most of the time. However, as I've stated in a previous video, I realized that people's taste in YouTube has shifted entirely. People want your opinions, your take, your introspective, your advice, your experience, and your humanity. The algorithm itself, blessed is thy name, has been changed to favor things that people actually want to watch and not things that just keep your attention like a hamster on a wheel. It has never been easier, more plausible of a time to start making it on YouTube. So why haven't I tried? Why haven't you? There is no get rich quick method or anyone coming to drop 100K in your lap. So for the love of God, create something. Now is the best time to do so, and who knows how long it's going to last. It is the heavily edited videos that are no longer the requirement. I could spend 15 minutes writing a script, 15 minutes recording, and 15 minutes playing a game with 15 minutes of editing. That's my $5 a day. That's my ticket, and it could be yours too. Thank you all for watching, and good luck out there.